Hello everybody, welcome back to a World of Warships video, and today's video, or this evening's video, or this morning's video, wherever you happen to be, whatever time of day it is, today's video is the Tier 6, yes, another Tier 6 German tech tree battleship, the Bayern. So the Bayern is a ship that I have had a sort of dislike relationship with, in that it is a ship that I have sold multiple occasions and seems to be one that I've won back. However, recently I think I've made my peace with this ship. It is, well, it's probably the first of the German battleships that I've got any respect for, at least in World of Warships Blitz. I very much like the Koenig in World of Warships for PC, but in the in World of Warships Blitz, it's probably the first one that started to show a bit of promise to me. The problem with the Bayern, Bayern has a lot of things going for it. It's tough. It's the same speed as all the other battleships at Tier 6, with the exception of maybe something a little bit faster, like the Normandy. It's got very powerful guns, very large guns, the same caliber as the Warspite, I believe, 15-inch or 16-inch. Someone will tell me, someone will put it in the comments, but they have very large, powerful guns. The problem is that it's got really poor dispersion. And unlike the Genizer now, which has really good long-range secondaries, the secondaries on the Bayern just don't quite make up that gap. So it just felt just a little touch underwhelming. But it is really tanky, and if you learn how to use that tankiness, it can be a very effective ship, and I've seen a lot of people do extremely well in it. So it's not to be discounted. It is a good ship to hold the front of the line, and that's pretty important. Like, a lot of American battleships are actually very good at that, but they just don't have the speed, and a lot of American battleship drivers in the game don't have the temperament. Whereas with the Bayern, you have the turtleback armour, as well as to reduce the chance of citadels, and you have extremely good armour, and you're encouraged to get in close because you're rewarded more than other ships for getting in close. So here we are, we're getting in close, and a little bit too close because we're getting targeted. But what we're trying to do here is put our nose into the bad guys, so that well, actually, no. We're trying to, how it works is, if you've got a cluster of ships, whichever side your gun's facing, take the ship that is on the most extreme edge. That way, you'll get the most guns on target, while presenting the smallest profile to most of the returning ships. That was a Normandy. Those citadels certainly prove that was a little Normandy there. That's overextended just a little bit. Sorry, dear, but your game's going to be a short one. Of course, that New Mexico's looking pretty sick too. So our team's done a pretty good job of hammering away. I've taken a lot of punishment, but as you can see, I'm nose in. I am getting slammed pretty badly by this New Mexico, but well, someone else can deal with that Normandy. Let's see what we can do about that New Mexico. Oh, torpedoes coming in, so that's the other reason we kept our nose in towards the bad guy, because basically there is a destroyer out there, and he fired a full brace of torpedoes, 8 of them, 1 hit. So that's a fair trade. So he's out of action, well, at least from a torpedo perspective, for the best part of a minute. I've taken 1 torpedo hit, which in the grand scheme of things I'm not really noticing, because we've got a lot of other problems. And yeah, so here he goes, he's hiding in behind. So he's doing a good job supporting the battleships, but sometimes the threat of torpedoes is actually more dangerous than the actual existence of them. So, especially with battleship drivers. A big slug of firepower comes in from the right. That'll be the Normandy. But someone out there has a full health bar. He doesn't, and that's generally pretty bad starting position for a Normandy to be in. Meanwhile, we've got this New Mexico. He's going to fire at... well, he's not firing at me because I didn't take any damage. These are within range of my secondaries. My 1 secondary. It's not a great place to be. Whoops. Here we go. What are we going to do? We're going to turn in. We're going to keep the speed on, turn in, see if we can just get snagged by 1 of those, or just maybe 2 of them. So he's doing a good job of hitting me with torpedoes. well, actually did a good job hitting the ship ahead of me with torpedoes. Good old Citadel actually helps to even the odds a little bit. And these guys are getting focused, so there's only 2 of them left. They're basically playing for points. So, you know, I think now with the Bayern, one of the ways that you can support your team is by giving the enemy a really good solid target to chunk away at. You'll last a lot longer than your teammates, and your teammates, if they're good and effective, will come in and support you, and if they don't, well, you know what? If they don't, then chances are that you're going to struggle with the game anyway. And here we go. This is the enemy destroyer, bit of AP. Just what's required to finish the job. So the Bayern's not a bad ship. It's not an exciting ship, but it is pretty solid, and I think that solidness is good, especially especially as an anchor for the team. So got a couple of good kills out of that, did a fair whack of damage, took a fair whack of damage. I do wish that they would provide stats to show how much you tanked, because that way I'd be able to demonstrate how good a citizen I am for the team in taking the enemy hits, especially at the start of that game. So yeah, the Bayern Tier 6 German battleship, actually better than my first time around impression. Anyway, thanks for watching.